Well, hello again. It's been a minute since I've been on here, and it's been a minute since I've really filmed anything, but it's a new year. I feel like once I get talking a little bit more, I'll feel a lot more comfortable just kind of going over where I've been, what I've been up to, but I'm gonna get started on my objective for today, and then we can chit chat while I'm doing that objective. My hair's different. It's short. It's been short for a while. I haven't quite filmed in a while. I got my hair, it's January. I got my hair cut in June. Very shortly after I made my last video. Yeah. There was going to be a reveal and then there just wasn't. But anyway, what we're going to do today, I guess what I'm gonna do is make a vision board. I have this, it's a pasta pizza box from Domino's, but I figured we're gonna reduce, reuse, recycle, and make our vision board. My vision board for the year. And we'll catch up, and we'll talk about my goals, where am I going, and also where I have been. So, let's do it. Let's do it. I printed these all out at work, and seeing them all together like this, I'm really excited for the finished product because I think they're all pictures that look nice together. So let's get into it. I have my tape. I also have some ransom note letters that I can cut out and I don't know. I can make them, I don't know, things that put things into categories or something. I've got some scissors, I've got some tape, so let's get into it. Ooh, excuse me, Envy. The cat is still very much a cat. Let's see. I also have a Notion, if that tells you guys anything about my start. I had a Notion last year too, so that doesn't really mean I really have my life together, but definitely trying. I got a fresh plate. Okay, here we go. So my different categories that I have are physical, mental, side hustles, moving, and personal expression and style. Okay, so physically, last year I got into running a little bit. My goal of 2024 was to run a 5K on Thanksgiving morning to do a wonderful turkey trot. And I ended up doing an 8K. Was I really prepared and like ready physically to do an 8K? Jury's still out, but I did it, and I want to keep doing it. The reason why I started running is because one day, not this year, should we keep him in the background? Let's keep him in the background for a minute. One of my goals, not to do this year, but to do, we're coming back, but to do eventually in my life is to go rim to rim of the Grand Canyon and do that. And when I was doing a lot of research on how to train and prep for something like that, they said that it's harder to do than a marathon, and I can't run. So I figured, let me work up to a marathon and then I can more incorporate other things. So this year I have got this picture for running, this picture for running, that one, and He's located a spring. He fell for my trap. This picture for running. And as you can see, my goal is to get to a 10K this year. Alrighty, so those are my running ones. I think I might only include, I don't know if I want to do the pavement one because it also says run. I have two pictures that say literally run, and I think that's a little bit redundant, and between the two of them I like the other one more, so I'm going to tape down those. So that's one aspect of the physical fitness, because running is not the only thing that I engaged in last year. Also, I only sort of planned out the layout for this. I'm just winging it. If this ends up looking like chaotic, then honestly it might be an accurate representation of myself. But yeah, we gonna be running this year. My sister and I went to New York for New Year's Eve, New York City, and which is another goal eventually. One day I want to get there and live there. But while we were there, we walked a whole heck of a lot, and I don't know that I was wearing the proper shoes, and I really messed up / kind of injured my heel. So the whole month of January I've pretty much just been on my butt. But it's okay. We're gonna get back into it next week. Getting back on my 10,000 steps a day. I got the Nike running app locked and loaded. So anyway. Alright, next. Another thing that I got into a little bit last year, but I want to lock in, get more consistent, more serious, more intentional with is strength training and exercising. So I've got two pictures for that. Boom. She's got the brown hair, you know. And she's doing a pull-up, which isn't particularly one of my goals. Which way? This way. So I got those. Come back. So I got those, and I'm going to kind of I'm kind of wondering if I need to make some of these a little bit smaller. That second picture where she's like with the barbells and all that, I'm like, ooh, she looks like Abby from The Last of Us. Which I'm not sure that I'm trying to get swole like she is, but she's strong. She's strong. So there is that. Okay, now that's gonna be my scrap pile. And yeah, maybe this year I could work toward doing a pull-up. Your girl can hardly do push-up, but hey, you know what? We all gotta start somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Move. Alright. So, here, I'll show you guys what I got so far. Heck yeah! Heck yeah! Okay, so we're not quite done with the physical realm though. I'm gonna try and keep them all touching each other. One other thing in the physical realm that's like physical activity is rock climbing. This was something that I really enjoy. Rock climbing, have always enjoyed it, especially like when I did it on like school field trips and things of that nature. Loved it. You guys remember Pump It Up? I think is what it was called. They had that rock climbing wall. That's where your girl would be staying the whole hour. And I just, I wanted to do it last year. I never did. So this year, we doing it. At least once. In college, I took a whole class on it. I got like certified in belaying. And then COVID hit. So there's that one. Okay. Alrighty, so next, we're nearing the end of the physical realm, is eating well. Last year I relied heavily on meal prepping, and that is honestly what I can say. Consistency in that is what helped me to reach some of my goals last year in terms of like weight loss and physical activity and just keeping myself going. And I printed out a couple pictures. I don't really know that I need to use all of them. I think I'm just going to stick with this one. I'll show you them all, but I don't think I need to use all of these. I think I'm just going to use the fridge of the meal prepping. It gets the point across. Okay, and finally, this was a huge goal of mine last year, and essentially this was like the catalyst for everything, like physical, why I was meal prepping, why I was exercising. I wanted to balance my hormones, because vulnerable moment. I have PCOS. For those who can't relate, and for those who don't have like ovaries, you may not know what that is. You don't really need to know. It's just my hormones and such are jacked up, and I'm trying to balance out the hormones, and a way to do that without, like, you know, taking something like birth control, which is really not helpful in the long run anyway, is by taking care of your body and fueling it in ways that help balance out those hormones and whatever. But that was like the underlying reason for all of those other physical things. Now I just enjoy doing those physical things. But in my journey last year, which I think was a big contributor as to why I had that meltdown, the big meltdown of 2024, I'm in therapy now, and I'm working on things, but this year I do want to keep balancing my hormones, a focus. All of these things like running and strength training and eating well is all going to be with PCOS in mind. So that kind of explains where I was and where I went last year. Just kind of fell off the deep end. Another thing, well, we'll get into it later. Another thing. But that concludes the physical portion. This is how it looks so far. The next part of my health and wellness, like part 2 of health and wellness, is the mental. It's the mental. So I have some things. I have one picture that represents sort of multiple goals in the mental part. And it's pretty simple. It says, take care of your energy. And this is something that I really struggled with last year, as was probably a little bit obvious. But I got a new job very shortly after I posted that last video, and not a new job as in I went and started at a new place or a new office or anything. I just got promoted, and that with that came a lot of responsibility and just a lot of stress that I was not expecting to experience, on top of the stress I was already battling. And a lot of things took the back seat while I was in like fight or flight mode, especially until probably about like September, August time frame. And by that point I had already given up on a lot of things, and I'm trying to kind of re-find myself. I'm in therapy now and doing that. So part of the mental things is to take care of my energy, and what comes along with that is continue going to therapy, you know, self-care, follow my routines, the things that keep me sane, those like structural building blocks. I have a planner that I'm gonna continue hopefully helping me keep on track and everything, and not feel so existential all of the time. But that's kind of what that is. So take care of your energy is what I have that represents all of that. Alright, so what's left in the mental category is a few things. I have 2 pictures that represent piano. And I'm only going to use one because I think it's a little bit redundant to have 2. I think I'm ditching the one that has the flowers. I'm sorry. And the reason why I have the piano one is because when I was a young lad, I was very much involved in music, and music was something that made me really happy. Fun fact, I played trumpet for like 10 years, and I played a little bit of piano in that time. 90% of that skill was self-taught, so not very good. I fell out of a lot of music-related things when the pandemic hit. If you thought last year was dramatic, you should have seen me in 2020. And so I ditched a lot of those kinds of hobbies, especially living in an apartment. I can't just whip out my trumpet and start tooting the horn because of the noise and being in such close proximity. I no longer had a place to practice. So that went by the wayside, and not having that kind of structure, that consistency. I was not playing the ukulele, I was not playing the harp, I was not playing the piano. So this year I have thought about maybe taking lessons. I've already started looking for a lady that I could take lessons from, and of course she only has 1 slot left for the semester, and it's 10:30 to 11 a.m. every Tuesday, and I work an office job, and I'm not sure that I really could make that, especially I work at in a legal office, and we have court every Tuesday starting at 10 a.m. So I'm not sure I really could swing that time frame. So I don't know, it's something that I'm gonna keep on my radar. I also am just gonna try and do it on my own and just tell myself I have deadlines and stick to them, even if it's not an external presence like a teacher or school or anything that's keeping me on track. I'm gonna try and hold myself a lot more accountable. But music, I think that was a big self-care thing. Next, I have 2 pictures and this is supposed to represent reading. Basically, they're just about reading. Every year I set a goal for myself to read a certain amount of books. 2023, I wanted to read 10 books. I did not do that. 2024, I wanted to read 5 books. I did not do that. And I don't know why I'm upping it, honestly. I think I just want to try. I just want to try and see if maybe I can keep it together this year with my vision board. Woo! But with that, I want to read 6 books, to take 1 book to read over the course of 2 months. So if it takes me 2 months to get through a book, I can still get my six books in this year. So that's my goal for that. I do want to get back into reading. That's part of like a nighttime routine. I could just read before bed. So I will be enacting that. Which one do I want to include? I'm gonna go with this one. I'm only gonna include 1. It's just redundant to have more than 1. Okay. There's also one, this is really just a miscellaneous one. It's not even really a goal, but something that inspires me, something that I think about often, will help hopefully keep me on track, and also, in a way, represents multiple things. I have, ooh, it's so off-center now, which, if you don't know, is like a symbol. It is something from The Last of Us, which I don't know if you can tell, I got that there. I also have a tattoo that's The Last of Us related. I've already made reference. But this year we get season 2. I currently am working on creating like an Etsy shop crochet that is The Last of Us themed. So more details to come on that. But also in the self-care category, it's a place that I like to play the game. It's a happy place and also a symbol of strength, I think. So I don't know, I'm throwing it in there. It kind of goes for a lot of things and a lot of goals, and also just, I don't know, something that makes me happy. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so now we've made it through the health and wellness category. Woohoo! I think we're doing good on space. I think hopefully we have plenty of room left. But let's do another check-in. I think it's looking really good. Anyway, so now we can move on to the side hustles, which I kind of already talked about, the Etsy and crochet and whatnot, but alright, so first things first, what do I have? We're just gonna go with the crochet. We're already talking about it. I've got 3 pictures here that are crochet. There's 2. Boom. Okay, so those are the 3 that I have. Envy wants to say hello! I got the crochet on here because I would like to create some kind of side hustle. Specifically right now, it's with like crochet patterns. Actually, let's pause here. Right next to me, so conveniently I have what I plan to make. This is my first pattern. Isn't that cool? Isn't it cool? You can make your own. Hopefully no later than March 1st. You will be able to make your own. Envy, you're on my pictures again. You're on my pictures. So anyway, so that's that on that. I think that I'm going to keep around the colorful one, the blue one. The next one. This one has been in the works for quite some time. I'm trying to write a book. I have been trying to write a book for a while. At least from 2023, but I've had the idea for the book since before that, like 2022 or 2021. So, long time coming. I got really into writing it and then just hit basically writer's block and really had a hard time picking it back up, especially after I got the promotion last year. So this year I'm buckling down. I'm writing my book. Alright, next, a short asterisk on the writing is maybe like writing a short story and submitting that for like literary journals. I think that that's like a smaller step versus a whole book and then trying to get that whole book published. Whichever one. I would like to finish the book this year, and I would also like to write a short story and be submitting that potentially for some journals or literary magazines. I'm not trying to attach myself and put myself in just one box, so I'm kind of keeping it open to whatever pans out. What is Envy? Alright, and next, and finally in the side hustles category, I have YouTube. I got you guys. So this, sorry, I have a text. I'm gonna turn that down. This video is very, very much low-key. And it's not a whole lot of big effort. And the reason I have it like that is just because I have a hard time getting started on things, especially because I tend to bite off a lot more than I can chew. And last year, from I would say August to December, I was working on a documentary for 21 Pilots and their whole wristband system that they do, and all of that, and it was a bigger project than I could handle at the time, and I still think it's a little bit of a very large project that I easily get overwhelmed, and I just hit a brick wall with that and had a lot of objectives and was having a hard time taking one thing at a time. So one of my goals this year is to start doing YouTube consistently so that big projects like that, A, don't feel as overwhelming, and B, will feel a lot easier to break down and eventually get up, because I'm eventually going to post that, and I have a lot of footage and a lot of information and a lot of research. I even did interviews for that, and they're just sitting on my computer. It's hard to, like, I don't know where to begin, and so this is where I'm beginning. I'm creating a vision board. But that will get around. I'm going to get around to doing that. It's not something that I can just pull out and whip out in a month or in a few days. That takes time, and I just really struggled with working on it after a certain extent. But these are the pictures that I have for the YouTube. This one's a screen, and then this one is an editing, because I want my editing skills to get good. You know what I'm saying? I want them to get good. Alright, and I said that was the last category, but I actually had one more, I just forgot about it, is sewing, and I only have one picture on this because I'm also, like, not putting my whole feet jumping in head first into this pool. It's something that I would like to get better at. It's January and I'm already like, do I really want to get better at that? So we will see. I'm gonna put it on the vision board because I think I really would truly like to get more well-versed and confident at the sewing machine and be able to sew more clothes. Like to sew some clothes. Like to sew a quilt. That would be cool. But yeah, we'll see. A lot of other things are taking more priority in this moment. Like the YouTube and the crochet patterns and the writing. Those three things are taking up a lot of time. And the sewing thing, I mean, it's not necessarily something I want to monetize either. I think one of the reasons why I put this on here, like same with the reading, it's not something that I want to put pressure on myself to make money off of it, where if I were to make money off of YouTube, that'd be great. If I were to make money off my crochet Etsy shop, that'd be great. And with writing, I mean, all of those things I could see myself doing full time. Whereas, like, I don't want to have everything in my life revolving around that. So that's why I put the sewing on there and the books. So just to keep things simple and less pressure, because we all know how I am under pressure. But anyway, that concludes the side hustles category. Woo! So I would say that I have low confidence, like low self-esteem. I have a hard time just being happy with myself, all of that good stuff. And this year I really want to work on that. I don't know really how to make an outfit. I would like to get more of a sense of style, like clothes, like, I don't know, it feels so superficial to say something like that, but I mean, look at me, I'm in my big t-shirt, you know what I mean? And so I would rather, you know, if I'm going out with the gals, have an outfit like they do, you know, feel a little bit more confident in my skin. So with that, I have not only like outfits, but taking pictures of myself that make me feel good. That is one thing I do want to get comfortable with this year, is because I'm not comfortable taking pictures. I don't know how to pose, and I'm never happy really with the end result. So for my pictures with that, I do have this girl who's taking pictures. So with this, I would like to get more comfortable taking pictures, but also having my picture taken. So it's both of those things. And the next ones I have is this girl that is on Instagram who is one of my biggest inspirations in terms of her style and also the pictures that she takes. I really like them, so I'm including them on here as like I want to be inspired by her and pursue like her style. I just want to be a bit more like her. Alright, my final one, thank you guys so much for sticking around if you made it this long. My final one is Spencer and I are hoping to move. We currently, not very far. Eventually far, but not very far this year. We're just, I mean, literally, if I had it my way, we'd go like right down the street. But we are going to hopefully move apartments, and yeah, that's gonna also be a video, but it's a big change. We've been in this apartment for 5 years. It's our first home, my first place moving out of my parents' house, and also our first place together. Envy. He's like fake chewing on things over here. I gotta be done. I gotta wrap this up. So we're moving. And so you guys will definitely be getting a video on that. Right now I'm in this stage where I just kind of want it, I just want it to be more set in stone than it is currently. I want to have like already picked it and like chosen the place and we're packing up. That's the stage that I will feel much more secure in once it's happened. once we're there. Because right now we're in the like, oh, we're looking at this place, we're looking at this place, we're gonna go tour. Who knows if they have an apartment available. Our lease ends in April. Ooh! Our lease ends in April and there's so much time for us to like, something to fall through and it just not happen, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, I actually think I might pull out one of my rejects to fill in some space. So let me add these extras in there. Some of the rejects are actually making the cut, and then I'll show you guys the final vision. Ooh! Okay, is this it? No more additions, right? No, don't want to add anything else. Yeah, oh guys, I'm really happy with it. Okay, I'm done. Here is the final product. Ooh. Well, that is it. I want to like put it up somewhere, or at least until we move. I think this area will be my like talking point for future videos, so I would like to have this like somewhere in the background, somewhere. I'll find a place, but thank you so much for watching, and please come back next month and help me navigate my closet. Envy wanted to come say goodbye. Say goodbye. And yeah, stick around this year. We're gonna tackle all of these things. This is all going to get accomplished. We're gonna have my book written. We're gonna go rock climbing, run a 10K, take pictures, crochet, eat healthy, take care of ourselves. 2025 is gonna be a good year. I'm manifesting it now. Anyway, goodbye. See you guys next month.